Hey, all you Atlas Earthlings, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here saying thanks for dropping by. As always, I appreciate your time. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying or getting some value out of this, coverage. I've been liking covering Atlas Earth since I started playing. I'm coming up on a year. In April, mid-April, it'll be a year, and thus far, I've made over 200 US dollars, and I've covered my journey in these videos. So I'd appreciate it if you subscribed if you are getting value out of it. With that said, we had our first Atlas Earth dedicated live stream this last weekend, and it was a rousing success. We had it Sunday at noon Eastern time, and I'm going to continue having these live streams. So if you're interested in talking Atlas Earth, please stop by Sundays at noon Eastern time and talk about it for an hour. We discuss, different questions, what you're doing in game. If you're new to the game, you have some need some pointers, drop on by. Whatever's interesting going on in the game, we can discuss. Okay, with that said, the topic in this episode is going to be a common topic that comes up in both the Discord as well as Reddit and in just comments to my various videos. And a lot of it is around new players, and the new players are asking, hey, what should I do? And I've done other videos in the past detailing, what technically should you do to get the most out of your Atlas bucks. There's a lot of different ways you can play this game, and none of them are going to be not everybody's going to play the same way, in other words. So what we're going to go over is we're going to discuss a few different things that I think that new players should do and should kind of keep an eye on, and maybe weave a few strategies in there as well. So, and this time, usually I do coverage from the U.S. perspective because, hey, I'm in the U.S. That's what I know best. But I had a request from one of my viewers in France that the game hasn't been live in France for altogether too long. So they were asking me to do a little bit of coverage on what they should do as a new player in France. So a lot of these things we're going to talk about in this episode. I don't think it's going to be too long, but a lot of these things I'm going to talk about can be applied in different countries. You're just going to have to reference your particular chart on the Atlas Earth website. So let's dive in. Okay, as a new player, the first thing that I want you, no matter where you live, if the game is active in your country, I want you to become familiar with the tier chart. You can find the tier chart on the Atlas Reality support. It's linked right off the Atlas Earth website, right? It's under support, okay? So, and wherever you're at, like in this particular instance, we're talking about the Germany and France tier chart. In fact, I would encourage you to just go ahead and get this up on your web browser and just take a screenshot of it, okay? And then keep it in the photos on your phone so you can reference it when you need it. It's that important, okay? And the reason why I say that is one of the things that new players don't recognize right off the bat is the fact that your boost, your active boost, the boost you get when you press that button and watch that ad is it comes down to how many parcels you own. And if you go over a certain amount of parcels, whether it's on purpose or on accident, then you can decrease your boost, okay? And that's something you need to keep your eye on, because that can make the difference in a decent amount of rent money for you. Okay, so let's take a look and dive into this. And we're going to cross-reference this with another link that I keep in my show notes, and that's to Tasty Wallet's guide, okay? I haven't redone a guide because he did it great. He's done a great job on it, and he upkeeps it. So to me, there's no reason to redo something that's already been done in such a good fashion. I just keep a link and I let everybody know it's not me, it is Tasty Wallet. So with that said, what we're going to do is we are going to look at this first tier. For those playing from Germany and France, the first tier is 1 through 70, and it gives you a 20 times multiplier. Okay, so that 70 is kind of a magic number there, because once you step over that 70 and go to 71, you decrease to 15 times. Okay, this is a big kind of stepping stone. And when we start talking about tiers, this is what we're talking about, right? These blocks of parcels that when you go over a certain number, you decrease your boost. Now, the next question a lot of people ask is, well, why would I ever want to go over, in this instance, 70 parcels? Because my boost decreases. Well, it still behooves you over time to increase the number of your parcels, because as your number of parcels goes up and your boost multiplier goes down, the more importance is shown upon the super rent boost during the month. That's where, as your boost goes, your normal boost rate goes down, there's more importance on getting every single hour of that super rent boost in, because that's where the bulk of your money comes in during the month. Okay, so that's one question out of the way. So let's go ahead and jump over to Tasty Wallet's website. And I have scrolled down, let me see, let me increase the size of this a little bit so it's a little bit easier to read for my old eyes. So we are on the Germany and France little paragraph, and it's a big long website. He leaves links at the top of the page where you can jump to it. So basically this is how it starts out, and every single, wherever you're at, it always starts out the same way. Buy 40 parcels, okay? So as you start out in the game, your preference, the best value for your money. In other words, as you spend your Atlas bucks that you're earning through, doing your, watching your ads, playing the arcade, whatever it may be that you're doing, doing surveys to earn your Atlas bucks, what's the most efficient way to spend those Atlas bucks and make rent? That's the question here. Now, I'm not saying this is the way everybody plays. I'm just saying that this has been analyzed and this is the most efficient way. Now, after we talk about this, I'm going to talk about a few caveats that you would want to consider because there are some new developments in the game. Okay, so everybody starts out this way. You buy 40 parcels. So as you're playing in the game, you earn your Atlas bucks, you buy your parcels as they come along, okay? You get 100 Atlas bucks, go ahead and buy yourself a parcel, right? Then it behooves you to go ahead and buy one badge. Why? Because at the 40 parcel mark, you buying that one badge gets you into the 5% 5% flat boost. Okay, so now there's two different boosts. These are for this is like a pointer for new folks, that so you can understand the active boost, which goes by, once again, the tier you're in, 20 times, 15 times, 10 times. You get that by actively watching the ads and pressing the button. Now, the passive boost comes from buying badges in your passport. And passive boost is not a multiplier, it's a percentage. So it's much lower than the multiplier, but it's a flat boost across the top. At all times, whether you're actively boosted or not, you're getting that percentage. So it's a good thing to have. In other words, at 40, it behooves you money-wise to go ahead and buy a badge to start getting that 5%. Before that, it makes better sense to just keep buying parcels. Okay, so after that, and you will notice that that's at the 40 mark, which is not quite to the tier limit of 70. Okay, keep jumping back and forth, just stay up here with me. Then you're going to want to go ahead and start buying your parcels again after you buy that badge. Buy parcels to 70, okay? And then you hit your tier limit, okay? And we are at the 20 times tier limit. Now, after this, what you're going to want to do is stop buying parcels. Once again, we are referring to the Germany and France tier list. You're going to want to stop buying parcels at 70, stay at that 20 times boost, and you're going to want to concentrate on badges. Okay, I had never looked over at France, the map of France, but when you're trying to find where your badges are, log into the website atlasearth.com, go up to the right. You can see right up here to the right, there's a map button, and you can log in and check out your surrounding area and find the locations of where the nearest badges are for you. I note this because this is something relatively new to the game. This happened in the late fall last year. Before that, we had to pretty much just drive around looking for city and county badges. Now you can just look at them up on the map and go specifically to where you need to get these badges. So I just zoomed into Paris because I figured it's a big city. There'd be somebody playing in Paris. So what you can see here is that somebody owns a lot of parcels right here on this island area. But what you're going to look for is you're going to look for black lines that designate differences in badges. Okay, it took me a minute. I was in Paris, and apparently Paris covers a large area, so I had to scroll around to find a designator marking between badges. So while you're in Paris, obviously you're going to get the city badge for Paris, but you see this designating black line here that goes along here. You can see a few different areas here. If we scroll over here, then you go into the area called Gentilly, and you would get the Gentilly badge if you went over here. Now, if you went over here, then you would get and I'm sorry, my French is terrible, but you would get the Le Kremlin Bicentre. Sorry, once again. And then if you went over here, you see the designator black line. And I'm not even going to try this because my French is terrible. But you get the idea. You're scrolling around on the map looking for areas, and you'd say, "Oh, hey, if I wanted to get this badge, I just have to go over here to the break and home Ivry. Drive over there, and I would be inside the line, and I would get the mark. If I wanted to get this if I wanted to get this badge over here, then I would just drive down this rue and go to maybe Le Dolce du Cashmere, a restaurant or something or other, and then park in a parking lot and buy the badge there, something like that. So you're going to want to switch over and get 10 more badges. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to be enough. That's going to be a total of 11 badges, and that's going to kick your flat bonus up to 10%. Now, after you get into the 10% boost for badges, you're going to want to go ahead and continue following this list here. Buy parcels to 100, which, wrong tab. I need to close that out. You're going to want to buy up to 100, which gets you to the top of the 15 times boost here, and you're going to stop there. Then what you're going to do is you are going to be buying badges for a while, okay? Buy 50 more badges to reach 61. And as you get more badges, you're just going up in your flat boost. 5, 10, 15, 20, on up, okay? Then after the badges, which we just talked about, buy parcels to 400 by tier jumping. Now, what we're talking about, we talked about this briefly a few minutes ago. Tier jumping is the act of, instead of buying parcels one at a time, saving up and buying them in bulk, okay? So what you're going to want to do is tier jump up to 400. And if you are sitting at 100, the first tier that you would be worried about is 101 to 135, okay? You would save up enough to make it to 135 before you crossed over that 100 mark, okay? So what that does is, and there's a little bit of a caveat here too, because you don't have to do that full tier if you don't want to. There's a term that's called the break-even point therein. So maybe if you jumped to 130, you would be at the break-even point. And with everybody, it's going to be a little bit different because everybody has a different spread of rarities of parcels, okay? But that break-even point indicates the point at which you would be making the same amount before you crossed over that previous tier. Because as soon as you cross over into this tier, you start losing money, okay? So once you go from 100 to 101, your boost is only 10 times instead of 15 times, so you're making less money on your boost. So the idea is to just skip that whole in-between. It takes you a while to save up, right? But you just go out and you just buy 101 to 135, 130 to 135, somewhere in there. just to get it all done in one chunk and not lose money in the process. Now, there's a lot of people that play differently, and that's fine. I'm just trying to point out the most economical. And then you're going to want to do the same thing all the way up until you do get to 400, right? And then at 400, you're going to be at the 3 times boost rating, and then once again you're buying more badges, and then you're buying more parcels. And at that point, once you get up in this top range up here, you're making the same as everybody across the world anyway, because the last 3 tiers of badges, everybody makes the same, okay? So it kind of evens out. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago that there's some other things to consider, okay? So one of the main things that has come up in the last several months is they started in November. They started with the new program that you can pay a fee for on a monthly basis and be a member of the Challenge Ladder. Now, the Challenge Ladder offers a free side and a paid side. And either way, you can earn Atlas Bucks and some prizes for going through the challenges, right? And if you're brand new to the game, I would consider playing through the challenges for 1 month before you think about subscribing, because then you'll have a good idea of how well you can complete the challenges. And then probably 3/4 of the way through the first month, you'll be able to know whether it's going to be worth it to you to subscribe. And the reason I say that is because if you can make it at least 3/4 of the way through the challenge ladder, to me, it's worth subscribing for that $10, $9.99 US. Okay. Because all the extra Atlas bucks you get out of it, and even more, if you can complete the ladder and get that free parcel upgrade, so much better, right? Because you can get a free badge and a free parcel upgrade out of it if you subscribe, and then on the free side, right? The reason I bring this up is because it's something that you should consider, because I did numbers in a previous video, and I really find the challenge ladder to be a very good value. Now, there's 2 different ways you can subscribe to the ladder, the challenge ladder. If you subscribe ahead of time, in other words, you can pay $9.99 and you're subscribed for the next month. Now, if you get 3/4 of the way through the month and you find that you've completed the whole ladder, then in my estimation, it's worth going ahead and paying the $14.99 US and completing the ladder and getting all the prizes. Because once you do that mid-month, say for instance you've done really well, you can pay that $14.99 and back subscribe, and it allows you to back collect all those extra prizes on the right side, all that extra Atlas bucks plus your legendary parcel upgrade. Okay, now the reason I talk about this is because you have to consider after you've been playing a month or two how well you're doing on that challenge ladder, because there are specific challenges in the challenge ladder. Buy parcels, and they are like buy 1 parcel, buy 3 parcels, buy 5 parcels, buy 10 parcels. And you have to integrate those if you're going to do, if you're going to subscribe and you want to fully complete that challenge ladder, you're more than likely going to want to integrate those buy parcels into your tier jumping strategy. Okay, so I've been able to do that the last couple months, and what it does, it involves me being mid-tier for a few days. Okay, so all in all, we're just talking the loss of a minimal amount of cents, in US terms. So I've been able to go ahead and buy 1 parcel, buy 3 parcels, and then turn around a few days later and buy 5 parcels, and then buy the 10 parcels, and then be able to go ahead and max out at the top of the tier wherever I'm at. So this is wherever you're at. Everybody's the strategy is the same. It's just the numbers are different wherever you happen to live. So I know I threw a lot of information at you. I hope this helps out for all those who are new to the game. Kind of soak this in, take what I have put this out for the Germany and France players, and look at if you live in a different country, look at your, kind of cross-reference the Tasty Wallet Guide to the tier jump. And like I said, take a picture of that, keep that on your phone. Make sure you don't go over your tier if you don't intend to. Okay. So then you're not going to be one of those people that pops onto Reddit and says, why did my rent go down? Just warned you. Anyway, this has been Bronze Dragon. Remember to join us on Sunday at noon Eastern time here on YouTube to talk Atlas Earth for a while. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. And hey, I'll see you in Atlas Earth.